talking to?
No one?
Spider-Man Homecoming is now the second reboot of the Spider-Man character, the first being The Amazing Spider-Man, and we all know how that turned out. Not gonna lie, I enjoyed the first Amazing Spider-Man, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was okay, though I loved the parts where Spider-Man appeared. I mean, I feel like that movie was a pretty good interpretation of Spider-Man, though those movies don't even touch Raimi's films, except maybe the third. Spider-Man and its sequel, Spider-Man 2, ushered the wave of superhero movies we see now, and truthfully, they were the best Spider-Man movies we'd ever seen. Until now. One of my favorite superhero movies, and my favorite Spider-Man movie, is Spider-Man 2, but after I saw Spider-Man Homecoming, I had a new favorite. Now stop for a second, because I had to think really hard which I preferred more. I had to pause and collect myself and think. Do I really believe Spider-Man Homecoming is a better film than Spider-Man 2? And it took me a while to think about it, and now I'm here to say yes. Barely yes. Both are fantastic films and do an amazing job at giving us different interpretations of Spider-Man, but still keeping the soul of the character intact throughout the film. But from a filmmaking standpoint, I do prefer Spider-Man Homecoming more than Spider-Man 2. In film, there are two types of characters, passive characters and active characters. Just like when watching a film, you can be a passive or active viewer. As said by Travis Bean from Film Colossus, a passive viewer is soaking up plot like a comatose sponge, drool slowly dripping out of the side of your mouth. Sort of like when people watch a Transformers movie, but more on that in another video. Now, being an active viewer involves studying a film's parts, its subtleties, its ideologies, its imagery, its atmosphere, its social commentary, its satire, and its heart. And the same can be said for a character. A passive one is a character that stays static and lets things happen to them, jumping from one plot point to the next, but not due to their actions, but the actions of another. While an active character is the one that forces plot points to happen, and through their boldness pushes the story along and energizes the script. This is a guideline though, not a rule, as stated by Robert McKee's book, Story. But even though it is not a guideline, not every main character has to be an active character all the time, it is something that most definitely works and helps sell the idea of a strong protagonist. Peter Parker is just a 15-year-old in Spider-Man Homecoming, and he's gonna act like one, and I think a few people found Peter Parker to be annoying in the movie at certain points, especially in the beginning, as he nags Happy Hogan and Tony Stark to let him go with the Avengers on missions or retreats. And this may annoy a few, but to me it shows that he is an active protagonist, a character that is not going to take no for an answer and will push the plot along. We're also exposed to who he is when he's not Spider-Man, and that's a kid longing to be the Avenger he isn't. A kid stuck in school dealing with classes and shitty classmates. At a certain point in the film, he could show up to a party as Spider-Man, but he decides not to. He chooses his responsibilities over having fun and personal gain, and this shows he is someone who's noble, a person who cares more about others than about himself. The constant battle between being Spider-Man and Peter Parker is very obvious, and this is also very prominent in Spider-Man 2. I think one fault that I have with that movie is that Peter wasn't as much of an active character as he could have been. Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2 has events befall him, and he tries to sort them out, but it really doesn't work out that well for him, which is one of the reasons why he quits being Spider-Man, to chase after Mary Jane. Now, again, I'm not hating on the movie or anything, it's a fantastic film, but one thing Homecoming did a lot better was proving exactly how difficult Spider-Man's life can be. He constantly thrusts himself into perilous situations on his own accord, and deals with the consequences, while Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2 constantly finds himself in the middle of dangerous situations that he did not have a part in from the start. Now let's be a little more detailed here. Spider-Man in Homecoming seeks out an incident when he should be at Liz's party, deals with the consequences of the choices he makes by afterwards dealing with the Vulture and Iron Man, and the humiliation of not showing up to the party as Spider-Man. He seeks out Aaron Davis, seeks out the Vulture's hideout, has to deal with not making it to the decathlon because of what he did, and has to save Ned and his friends because he gave Ned the Chitauri power core that blows up. He decides to go to the Staten Island ferry and is the reason it splits in half. Peter is the reason he gets the suit taken away from him. He makes the choice to take Liz out to Homecoming and has to deal with the Vulture. Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2, again, not bashing, has events occur around him. He has no say in whether they happen or not. Does Peter have a chance to stop Otto's experiment from the start? No. Does Peter have a choice in preventing Dr. Octopus's bank robbery from ever happening to begin with? No. It just happens. But I will say one thing, with how Peter from Homecoming treats his allies, I bet you that Peter would instantly go looking for his friend and idol, Dr. Otto Octavius, to see if he's okay after he just assaulted doctors and escaped from a hospital. Spider-Man 2 does have the scene which ties Peter's character arc, which is when Dr. Octopus takes Mary Jane and Peter decides to become Spider-Man again. But Homecoming does it too, and better. You see, Spider-Man Homecoming not only has Peter be stuck under a collapsed building, it actually gives Peter a choice. A legitimate choice, and Spider-Man 2 does not. It's a false one. Spider-Man 2 has Peter and Mary Jane be attacked by Dr. Octopus, and here, Dr. Octopus gives Peter this choice.
I want you to find your friend, Spider-Man. Tell him to meet me at the West Side Tower at 3 o'clock.
Well, I don't know where he is.
Find him. Or I'll peel the flesh off her bones.
But this isn't really a choice, is it? Peter's motivation throughout the movie is Mary Jane. He stops being Spider-Man for her, because then he can be the man he thinks he should be for her. She's basically the reason he does anything. And now Peter can either save Mary Jane, the reason he does everything, or, I guess, stay Peter Parker and do nothing? In Spider-Man Homecoming, there are two very obvious choices: to either stop the Vulture, or to not do anything. And this is similar to Spider-Man 2, but what makes the situation much better is that Peter actually begs for help, like any young boy would do in that situation. He decides to give in to what wiser characters have told him, to stay put and let the professionals do it. But he comes to his senses, and realizes that if he stays, he's not a hero, he truly is nothing. He isn't Spider-Man like he said, so he chooses the other option to stop the Vulture, and prove that he is Spider-Man. And this is truly one of the most heartbreaking and powerful moments in all of Spider-Man filmmaking history, and is actually my personal favorite. Spider-Man Homecoming is a coming-of-age tale, and it works wonders, as it has a very focused direction with an active hero that people understand and empathize with. Well guys, that's about it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate all the likes and all the support you guys give. So thank you very much for that. Also, I do have GoFundMe, so you can help me out that way, because I am trying to get into college, and any type of donation makes it a little easier for me. And that means I will be moving, which means that I will probably post less videos. But thank you guys, of course, for coming to the table.